So Dan and I have some areas around AI that we disagree with each other. I do believe what Dan is saying is that, especially like in this coaching, training, teaching, consulting, whatever, this market that many of us are in, that I'm in, that Dan's in, that Chris, you're in, I do think that trust piece is critical. People, I think in most markets, most people, if they look at something, if they know something is AI generated, I think it's going to at least have a sliver of doubt that they're going to have, there's a little bit less trust of the person, in my opinion. Because like Dan said, is this really what they think? Is this really from their knowledge? Or is this just they took something from AI and put it out? So I absolutely think that trust piece is something to pay really close attention to. The part I'm not sure on, there's a lot of people that struggle with copy. And when we say copy, Dan and I we're talking about copywriting. And like Dan says, he's in it every single day. I'm in it every single day, because what we do is we teach people how to make money through their words, through sharing an offer they have to get people to give them money. That's what we do. And that those words that they use, whether they're in an email, whether they're on a blog and a sales letter, in a YouTube video, in a short, on social, it doesn't matter where it's at. It's all copy. So, and there's just people that struggle with copy. It's like I've made my life. I'm 30 years into copy. I'm still getting better. Dan's 12, 15, 16 years, no, 20 years into it. Dan's 20 years into copy. But I do know that people struggle with it. People struggle with it. And I think for a lot of them, AI copy's going to be there. Yes, if AI copy's a 7 and they're a 6, great. But a lot of people are a 2 or a 3. And I think for those people, investing the effort to use AI to create, good copy that doesn't sound like AI is probably time well spent.
Oh, so I'll give a counterpoint. Give another thought here. I think if you don't know how to write good copy, then you're not going to be able to tell if the AI copy just sounds generic and like crap. And I think if you can't articulate what you do well enough to write or speak on the topic decently, and this is writing something in an email, it could be writing a social post, it could be shooting a little video, whatever it is. I think if you can't articulate the thing that you are going to be guiding people on as an expert well enough to articulate it yourself, then I don't think you're going to do a great job of actually teaching somebody it. Or at very least, I think that you are going to get so much better at the actual articulation of your offer and the articulation of how you're going to be able to help somebody if you learn how to put that into words in a better way. And I do really think the other important thing here is that I think when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about at a higher level too. Because I think as it becomes increasingly easy for somebody to make a little course or something like that, to me it feels like a lot of the low price point things are going to start to go away. You got inexpensive courses, and then it's like, well, do I want to spend $100, which is a decent investment to something you want to learn is $100, and if you're at the level where you're considering spending $100, you're probably still at the level where you're going to also be like, yeah, maybe I'll just try to figure it out for free myself with AI help. But if you're at the point where you're like, I really want to invest in this in a serious way, and you're considering spending potentially thousands of dollars on a coach, then, which I think is going to be the better market for people to be in, then yeah, you want to be really confident in that person. And I think any flags that they're not making their own stuff is going to put doubt in you about that person.
So I've got a counterpoint to your counterpoint. So first of all, I think it's an excellent point. You make a great point about having the ability to recognize good copy, that people need to be able to do that. I will just say that there are, I know we have a large contingent of people that listen to us, that watch us, that identify as neurodivergent. And I know there's just people that cannot write. I mean, they can speak perfectly. They can sit there, and if there's a conversation, absolutely no problem, be incredibly convincing, be incredibly powerful, but literally making words come out on paper or on a screen, it doesn't compute with their brain. There's a lot of those people. And maybe for them, the answer is just to record themselves and then take that recording and put it into AI. And that would probably be the answer there. But I just think there's a lot of nuances here.
Well, that's a fantastic point. And I totally agree. And that is why I said, you should be able to either write or speak it out loud. Because to me, that comes back to, in that case, AI feels like a true tool. Whatever way it comes out for you, I think that, being able to make your thing into a way that you can describe what it is to somebody who's interested, like present a compelling offer, describe someone in how their life is going to change as a result of investing with you, as a result of you guiding them. That is a really core critical skill. And if you can speak that out loud and then have AI help you with, little transitions and, tweaking it like an editor or a proofreader would do, that's fantastic. I think the other way too, if you can write something out and you can have AI forming this into smaller blocks that you could say in a video, something like that, that's fantastic. I think that's great. But when it comes to the core, like, hey, I need 5 emails, write me 5 emails for my thing. And AI is deciding what goes in there and it's building it all. I just think that's going to be the wrong way to go about it.
If I can try and build a little bit of the gap between the two of you here, or bridge it, I think there are different types of avatars you're each talking about here. And I don't know if they're all even avatars, but on the one hand, you have the person who is an expert, the professional painter, the person who's played music for years, the person who knows how to cake decorate for 25 years, and they have the discerning expertise to know enough about their avatar to be able to have AI bring out some sort of copy for them and then discern whether that is good, or to help have AI create a product and know whether or not it's good. You have the person who is probably, has probably marketed their thing before and actually understands marketing and is good, right? And that's the ideal, is you want someone who's good at both, and then they can discern whether it's good copy and good copy for their product. But then you have the other person who's not an expert, but maybe they're really good at copy and they're using AI to develop something in an expertise where they're not really an expert, but they're really good at copy. And that's in some ways the people we're all trying to avoid, right? And so how do you get, this is where it is. Like there's a lot, I can see a lot of people out there saying, well, Jeff, I haven't got 20, 30 years or whatever copy experience, so I need this, right? And I need this to get to the level where I can compete. And on the other side, you have people who are like, well, I'm really good at copy. Why can't I just go into that market and do really well?
It's an interesting question. I know in one of our trainings, one of our 3-day trainings, I use an example of kiteboarding. Like someone is working through Launchy.ai, our tool, with building a course for kiteboarding. And I've personally never kiteboarded in my life, but I ended up creating, an outline for a course that looked pretty darn impressive. And I probably could have sold it because I've got the copy skills. So, one of the core things that I learned from one of my first coaches was you want to learn from people with experience, not from people with book learning, is how he would put it. So yeah, it is a very interesting question, and I don't know the answer. One interesting phenomena that I think I see happening, and we track hundreds of businesses across hundreds of niches, so it's hard to generalize across all of them. But I think, earlier on, I started with this idea that we have to, and I chose my words carefully, we have to assume the value of information is going to approach zero in the not too distant future. I'm not saying blanket it will. We just have to, I think we have to assume that, and we have to approach our business that way if we're going to be good stewards of our businesses. And I think what I see happening is that AI is like carving out the middle of the teaching, training, coaching world. In other words, I think there's still going to be a place for the very low end in terms of pricing. And I also think the high end is going to be fairly protected because that's going to be more of a boutique experience, more personalized experience, more of a coaching experience. And frankly, the people that buy at the high end, I think that's what they want. They want that personal experience. They want that coaching experience. They want that human experience. And maybe they even have a little, they have more experience, and maybe they have a little higher discernment, so they can see through the BS that they get from AI. So I think that is one thing that's happening, is the middle, and the middle would depend on whatever market you're in terms of pricing. You can't make a generality comparing painting in watercolors or running a multi-doctor brain surgery business. I mean, they're relative pricing will be different, but I think the high end continues to do pretty well, and I think the very low end continues to do pretty well, but the middle is getting carved out.
And I think there's going to be, I totally agree. And I think the one other group of people that's going to start to emerge more and more, you think you're saying, there's the boutique high end, but I think there's also going to be the people who are very committed, and maybe they're not necessarily looking for a boutique experience. They're not looking to just, go and spend a bunch of money to have a luxury experience here, but they're the people who they're really committed, and they've been doing it, and they've been grinding it, and they've been, maybe they've been using the free tools, and they've been using AI, and they've gotten so far, but now they're finding okay, they're kind of hitting a point where it's like they can tell that that they need some additional steps to go further. They're finding the limitations of doing it themselves with AI. I think for a lot of things, a lot of the very beginner steps are going to be something that, even if someone's getting not the best information from AI, they're probably still going to get decent enough information that they can be going for a while. But they're going to hit a point in which it's like, okay, I really want to get better, and that's the next option. Not get in there with AI, and they're going to start looking for actual humans who can give that similar experience that they were having with AI. Having that feel like a very personalized experience, but from someone who has the real world knowledge to back it up.
Wasn't that a great clip? If this was helpful, please hit subscribe. We're going to break down what's actually working right now, no fluff, for the rest of this season. And if your business feels like it's working on hard mode right now, go to getyouLaunched.com and check out what we got there for you. See you on the next episode.